Hi guys, welcome back. Today is stage 2 of my build, which is the rear travel seats. These were kindly donated by a member in our Facebook group called Simon. He didn't need them in his build, so he very generously offered these out to me, which I'm very grateful for because they're perfect for our van. Trying to find seats to fit the van is quite tricky because you need to look at the dimensions on the legs to see if they'll fit on your floor, and you can bolt into them. The last ones I had to move over 30 centimeters in the last van because of where the bolts fell on the floor. Bit of a pain, but these ones are perfect. These ones you can offset the legs and you can move the seats as well, which is perfect. Just ideal if you haven't got the space for them. So these are quite big, but they're not bulky, if that makes sense. So really happy with these. So there we go, nice lovely seats. And these come with the unwin rails and also the unwin rail, the bars which get bolted down. And what I've done here is I've made them as long as possible. I could have cut them down smaller, but I've allowed extra so more bolts can be put in, which then means that any weight, any payload in any crash or anything like that, it will take more of the weight. Well, I'm no expert, but I'm hoping that's right. I'd like to think so. So I've made them as long as I can, and also in the future it means that I can open them and move them back if need be, and I've still got space to move them forward as well. Won't want to move them forward because there won't be enough room in there. So really happy with them, perfect. As you can see, my windows are in there as well. The windows are in, and this one as well, and the back ones, and the floor's a mess because I'm trying to work out how to do my shower. So yeah, all good with them. I'll show you now how I've done them. As I say, as you can see, the legs, they get bolted to the bottom of the seat, which means you can move them across. So the one leg is here, and I've got that much space. I've moved it over, which allows a bit of room down the side. And then this one here, I've had to widen the legs so it fits across the strut underneath. But I'm really happy. Rails. There we go. So I've cut the one down, as you can see. And to bolt these, once I eventually find out where they're going to go, I've cut them so there's an extra bolt at the front and at the back. There we go. So there's 2 bolts. Then what I can do is keep the seat on the rails, drill these holes at the back and the same at the front, so I know exactly where these rails are going to go. So once I've bolted the 4, 2 at the front and 2 at the back, I can then take the seat off and then bolt the other ones underneath the legs, and the same again for that one. So both sets of rails are now cut and fitted. So now what I'm going to do is the front ones, I'm just going to put a little pilot hole through just to see where it goes and whether I can put them in where I want them. Hopefully all goes well. So one handy tip, when you're lining up your legs and stuff and you need to work out where it's going to be underneath the van, if you've got quite a few screw holes in your van, like I have, most older vans will have screws guaranteed. One little tip is get a drill bit, put it into the hole and leave it there. Then when you go underneath the van, you can see then where that hole is, and then you can measure, work out where things are going to go, so you're not going to screw into anything underneath the van. So it's just a handy little tip that might help. But at least now I know where I can kind of go. So I've got my first hole done now, and before I do one at the back or any this side, I'm going to put a bolt in there to keep it in place. The last thing I want to do is start making another hole elsewhere and then the rails move and then I lose that hole. So I'll get a bolt in there first to keep that in place so I don't lose it. Right, I've lined up the second seat now where it's going to go, and what I'm doing is the screw holes that are in the floor already, I've whacked a few bits in there just so I can see where these are going to fall underneath the van. I've got one of these which shows me exactly where the hole is going to go, and then this side it's, so there we go. I can use that now underneath and guide it to see if when I drill through it's going to be okay. Just chilling. So I found where the drill bit is, but unfortunately I'm not going to be able to do it there because the drill, the bolt would be coming through underneath here. See, I can't get into there. Typical. Not good. So with the rails, I've added as many bolts as I can possibly put in, purely just so it's secure. I've probably gone overkill, but I'd sooner be safe than sorry. You still need to think about worst case scenarios, so I've put as many bolts in as I can. These are definitely ideal. Also as well, underneath this I've Seeker flexed this down onto the floor, and underneath I've added some metal lamps which I've got a hole in, which are kind of like support bars for underneath. So that's the end of the seat video. Hope it's helped. I would recommend though, when you do look online for seats, check the dimensions between the legs where you've got a bolt into the floor, because that could alter your whole build. So you want to make sure that they fit where you want them to. But other than that, yep, I'd definitely recommend looking on places like the marketplace on Facebook, because you will get them next to nothing or even free, because a lot of people will convert minibuses and crew cabs and things like that, and they need to get rid of the seats, and a lot of the time they can't get rid of them, so quite a few people will put them on for free. So I hope it's helped, and if you like it, give us a thumbs up. Please feel free to subscribe, and please feel free to come over to our Facebook page, which is Budget Self Build Campervan Club. Many people on there willing to help as usual, so feel free to head over there, and I shall see you on the next video. Take care all.